Tigers are independent and strong. They typically know exactly what they want, and they generally do everything that they can to get there.
So that's what Eddie is, you think?
In a lot of ways, yeah. Oh, and I didn't pick Bear because I guess I would be more like the Bear because I'm just bigger than him. But, you know, do you think Tiger, you think like lean, mean, agile, quick, and that's, yeah.
Like success, I think, is the most like addictive thing that I've ever encountered. Like it feels so good to like accomplish a goal and like be successful in something, and I never ever want to go backwards, like ever.
To me, okay? Alright, so if you have any questions, you know, I'm only one call away, right? Alright, call me anytime. Thanks. Bye. Happy clients every day.
Eddie is more than a mentor to Adams. Mentor is a good place to start describing their relationship, but it runs deeper than that. Adams very obviously looks up to Eddie crazy a lot. Eddie does his best to give the best advice that he can whenever anything comes up. At the same time, Eddie is also Adams' boss, so he is also very demanding of what he expects from Adams professionally too.
What was his issue, by the way? What was he frustrated about?
Nobody was telling him anything.
You wanted to keep your conversations short for a number of reasons. Number one, if the information is tight and short, then he'll understand it better. And then number two, like you just spent 30 minutes on a phone call, like on like a really meaningless conversation. Like you have more important stuff to do. So you gotta learn to like keep it concise, get it moving. I want to give you an access key. You'll have a 24/7 access key, but other than that,
it's Erica calling from the law attorney's office.
you just walk in and just go in.
Am I supposed to do that anymore?
It's about to happen finally. I got fucking Comcast won't be here till Saturday, which sucks.
Third floor.
Welcome to the new office, man.
Thank you, sir.
It's pretty crazy.
This is nuts. Look at all this space and windows. Right smack in the middle of downtown. Congratulations to you too, yo.
It's crazy, because we were like 14th Street office in the back of that warehouse.
The Wolves of 14th Street, yeah.
It was such a like dumpy like space.
It was behind a diner.
I remember my CPA coming to visit us, and like, you have to move out of here. I really like my space. It's a house, it's a modern house. It's zoned for commercial use. So I moved my office in there, but my neighbors just didn't like it, you know. They use it for residence. So I understand that. They didn't want a bunch of people, strangers, like coming into the neighborhood, walking in and out. And although I was allowed to do it, they really were against it. And I think if you're fighting with your neighbors, that's bad business. If we were gonna move, I wasn't gonna make another lateral move. I wanted to improve our situation. I picked this place, and it's really scary because it's really expensive. It's just been kind of like a really scary decision to make, but I just have to know every time I made a move, it was a scary decision. And I just gotta have to believe in myself that when I make this choice, and I made it, that, you know, we're gonna work diligently, we're gonna work hard, and it's gonna pay off in the end, as every single move that we've made has been. I would never ever been able to get to this point, at least this quickly, without Adams. Like, it's not happening.
I appreciate that.
He's in a lot of ways the epitome of what you would imagine a little brother to be. He is very professional, and He's kind of like the really, really friendly pit bull in the office. I've learned a lot from him just in watching how he handles things, and that's how I would describe him. Just he's a very, very friendly pit bull that, for the most part, can get pretty much everything done very well.
We first started 4 years younger. You didn't know anything.
I didn't know anything.
You know, I was still learning a lot, and our office kind of reflected that. You know, it was like an office for a startup, right? The rental rate, the way it looked,
Paper files,
yeah, paper
everything.
files. It looked like, okay, this is where a startup firm would start. And you personally have made a lot of changes, right?
I started off, when I first started here, you know, it's kind of cool because we started off behind a diner. I started off with my mom. I lived with my mom in a 2-bedroom apartment. I couldn't even pay rent, so I was actually living under my mom. I was trying to work some sushi jobs. I hated it, so I asked Eddie Young if he knew of anybody that can kind of get my foot in the door. He actually chose me to work for him, so I took that opportunity. Now 4 years later, here we are. Funny story, actually I'm moving into another place closer to here down the street. It's a modern luxury apartment. I was never able to get my own apartment because I didn't have the income or anything.
Credit.
I couldn't talk to my parents about it, but I built up into that point for 4 years with Kim Law, and now I can't do that, and it's kind of surreal for me, man. We're getting a new office space.
Yeah, we didn't
Badass office
plan-
space.
we didn't plan
plan
that.
any of that, and it all worked out. I live down the street close to the office. It's modern, it's mine, it's my space, you know. I get to take care of my little brother along the way. He's gonna stay with me. Everything in life has been transitioning together around Kim Law. It's just a testament to what we've become.
When you first ask that question, the first thought that comes to my mind is it's like walking on like ice that you're not sure is safe to walk on. But when I think about it a little more, working with Eddie is kind of like making sure that you keep a tiger very well fed. As long as the tiger is well fed, the tiger will not eat you. If the tiger is not well fed, you start getting a little bit worried when you have to go into the cage with it. It's very satisfying to get through the day and know that we got cases settled and we have clients happy.
And we've gotten to do so many cool things. Like, we've met so many interesting people.
We have
Like artists, musicians,
athletes,
you know,
Mhm.
music videos.
music videos in a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, good FaceTime.
Future's music video.
Lil Uzi, Fabulous, T.I.,
No, we were in a
Moneybag Yo.
Moneybag Yo.
Recently.
That was recent. Do you remember when we first started and we were considering trying to make you like, you know, like an entertainer,
Yeah.
model, artist type of deal?
I do remember that. I think the territory was, he was my manager, and then the contract said the territory was the world, which means no matter where I went on this planet for the next 5 years, I'm his talent. I think that contract's still alive till this day, but yeah, I do remember that. We went really hard in the paint trying to do that. I had
We
never
did.
made a song in my life. I never modeled in my life.
This is better suited for us.
Yeah, definitely.
This is better, and it's just fun to like do those things on the side and
Mhm.
have a good time, you know. And it's also a great way to meet people. You know, we're always doing business. When we go there, we always represent Kim Law.
Definitely.
I like that about our company is that even when we get out the office, we're still associated with our brand.
Yeah, definitely. This past weekend, I went to some grand opening for a new club, and kids were coming up to me that I never met. They're like, "Oh my God, are you Adam? Do you know Eddie?" I was like, "Does Eddie know you?" Well, I have no idea, but they were like, "You guys inspire us," and things like that. But
Yeah.
no other law firm is doing that for kids.
No, they're not.
No other, artists do that. Like, we're just two people that work really hard, trying to build this law firm, turn it into a lifestyle brand that inspires people.
I think it's because it's so like it's so tangible. You know, it's hard for someone to say like, "Yo, I'm going to be a rapper," or
Yeah.
"I'm going to be in the NBA." Not that it's impossible, but that route is so competitive. The chances of you actually making it are so slim, right?
Mhm.
But you want to be a lawyer, you want to work in a law firm. It's also difficult, but much more attainable than those goals, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So if they're watching us and they're like, "Oh shit, I want to be like that," it's actually very doable, very, very doable, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah. I never lived in a house in my life, so I never owned a house. I never owned it. It was just like a fabricated dream of mine. I want to own pieces of Atlanta. And I love this city. I feel like I worked really hard. I feel like my roots and foundations came from the city, and I want to own pieces of it.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to share it with my family and make money off of it.
I mean, you can't dominate a city unless you own some of it, right?
That's where I want to be in 5 years.
Anything you want to say to them?
Thanks for trusting me. That's what I would say. I appreciate that a lot.
I didn't work this hard just to get this far. I worked this hard so we could get as big as possible. Whatever that means. If it means 1 million clients, if it means like fewer clients, more lucrative cases. But I know that I can't just like sit back and just enjoy the fruits of my labor. I have to keep going.